Hatred of Vincennes by Indiana's first governor took capital from this city. If not for a personal feud between General William Henry Harrison and Jonathan Jennings, the first governor of Indiana, Vincennes might have been the state capital of Indiana instead of Corydon. The movement to move the capital had its beginning in 1809 when Illinois was set off as a separate territory and the purchase of some 3 million acres of land in the north, which extended the state's northern boundaries. Thus, because of its geographical location, Vincennes could never have been the permanent capital, but the chances are it could have remained this seat of government until it was permanently moved to Indianapolis, had not Jonathan Jennings developed a hatred of Vincennes because of Harrison. The feud, according to the history books, dates back to 1807 when Jennings was elected clerk of the Board of Trustees of Vincennes University. Jennings was, at the time, a young lawyer with a bright future before him. He had not yet settled his location, something irregular in his record, as the university clerk caused the board to adopt a resolution in April of the following year, calling for an investigation. Jennings was removed from office and a successor chosen. This angered Jennings to such an extent that he developed a lasting hatred for Vincennes and for Vincennes University. But for that hatred, Vincennes University today might have been the state university, for it was Jennings who later sponsored a bill which resulted in Indiana University being founded in Bloomington. Harrison, as first governor, controlled most of the local patronage, but from 1809, the anti-Harrison party, led by Jennings, controlled legislature and elected the delegate to Congress. Slavery had its part. Harrison, because of his Virginia background, was pro-slavery, while Jennings became a fanatic anti-slavery. Most of the slaves were owned in and around Vincennes, where Harrison had his most power and had most of his holdings. Jennings realized the best way to hurt Harrison had to weaken his power was to take the capital from Vincennes. The first effort was made in 1811 when the legislature passed a bill to move the capital to Madison. Harrison vetoed, and Jefferson also sought it. In the meantime, war with Great Britain broke out, and this kept Harrison away from the territory most of the time. He turned his official duties over to the secretary of John Gibson, who became acting governor. Governor Thomas Posey succeeded Harrison as governor in 1813, Harrison being made commander-in-chief of the United States forces in the West. As Christopher B. Coleman points out in the Indiana Magazine of History, Jennings had moved from Vincennes to Clark County and had become recognized as the undisputed leader of the citizens of the southeastern Indiana, opposing the Harrison faction on slavery, admission to statehood, and other issues. Vincennes' position was also weakened by Harrison's withdrawal. At any rate, the capital was moved to Corydon, and that town remained the capital until 1825, when it was moved to Indianapolis. Governor Posey came to Vincennes on May 25, 1813, and acted as governor here until December of that year when the legislature met at Corydon. The State House, built for the use of the territorial legislature and officers, was erected at Corydon in 1811, but was not entirely completed until 1815. It still stands.